So HBO dropped its trailer for Things to Come in later this year as well as 2025. Now, 2 years ago, this was 2 years ago now, this is how we saw footage from season 1 of The Last of Us. That was the first footage we had seen. And here we go once again. And much like the last trailer with HBO's, 2023, stuff, they were like, save the best for last. It was kind of like the show they were banking on being some big thing. And with the success of the show and the popularity and whatnot, they saved it for the end once again. They put this before a Game of Thrones trailer. And Game of Thrones is
huge.
Their huge thing right now. We also got Welcome to Derry in there, which, I never thought we were going to see that show until recently when they were like, we are actually filming. And I was like, I can't believe this is actually going to happen. We got Bill Skarsgård coming back as Pennywise in there. But, of course, the big thing, The Last of Us. Season 2, which, of course, is an adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2, or The Last of Us Part 2. As you can see, we're big fans. If you're new to the channel... we are massive Last of Us, both 1 and 2.
Yeah, the whole story.
Yes, the whole story thus far. Maybe there will be a part 3. I think there will be. I know there's a lot of controversy over Game 2. You will hear none of that here. We love it wholeheartedly.
Yes.
We are not going to apologize or try to defend our stance. If you don't like part 2, that's your right.
Yeah.
But we're lovers of it, and we're here to talk about it. So, Kaylee and I deliberated on this back and forth for a bit, and we came to the conclusion that it's pretty much pointless to talk about this without spoilers for the game, which of course then will mean spoilers for season 2, 3, 4, because they had said that they're probably going to do this in 3 seasons. This season has been confirmed to only be 7 episodes, which the last season was 9, which is a bummer. If they did that each season, then this would be 21 episodes, which would just be a little over twice as long as season 1. Which kind of makes sense. There's a lot of story in Game 2. Game 2 is 3 times the size of Game 1. And I feel like to properly do it, at least 2 seasons for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know.
So
it's going to suck to wait, but that's okay.
So if you do want to avoid spoilers for the show, thank you for clicking, but it's probably time to click away because we are going to get into what will be spoilers because it's hard to talk about these images because we already know what happens.
Yeah.
It isn't about there will be things added.
Of
like
course.
there was in season 1.
There'll be new stuff.
But the major beats will stay the same.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of a lot of, people. They're not happy about that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to change it. It's just not going to happen. So spoilers from here on. If you have not played Game 2, if you do not know the story, or if you just don't care and you're like, you know what, I'm fine knowing spoilers beforehand. Here you go. So we get 17 individual little trailer clips that are, spliced together here to make the quickest cut freaking trailer I've ever seen in my life. I know it's supposed to just be like the teaser of a teaser of a teaser.
Yes.
But God, these are so fast. It's just like boom, boom, boom.
That.
They're basically like images.
Yeah.
They're so quick. It's like, oh my God. But 17 different images, or little clips, should I say. First one is the winter dance.
Yeah.
Smart to start with this because this is definitely one of the most iconic images of the first game. Just the lights overhead. We get the back of, it looks like Ellie's head. I'm like 99.9% sure it's Ellie. I don't think it's Dina. Her hair is longer but this has got to be
It's
Ellie.
got to be Ellie.
Because I think we get this exact shot in the game. So it's Ellie. Yeah. Of course, this is where Ellie and Dina share their first kiss.
Yeah.
They run into the homophobic patron of this dance who tells them to get lost because it's like a family affair and they don't need any of that queer crap around here. And of course, Joel steps in to be the knight in shining armor and Ellie's still pissed off at him.
I know, it's
and
so
pushes
hard.
him away. This is a very dramatic scene.
Yeah. Very heartbreaking.
And of course, this is what plays on Ellie's mind later, because this is like one of her last interactions with Joel. This is like the last time she sees him before he dies.
Yeah.
So, really, really emotional scene, and a great moment, and to see Ellie. And this is also where Ellie and Jesse have their conversation over Dina.
Yes.
And he's like telling her, oh, there's so many great moments in this. Like when she tells Ellie, like, you know, maybe they're all looking at you. And she's like, well, what do they have to be afraid of? I'm just a girl. And she's like, oh, they have a lot to be afraid of. And kiss her. Oh, it's just such a fantastic scene.
It's a wonderful scene, yeah.
Anything more on this one?
No.
Yeah.
No, you said it all, I think.
Okay. Well, this one, Be All You, which is the second image here, which is Ellie's tattoo.
Yeah.
Which Kaylee has on her arm.
It's on the wrong arm. She has it on her right arm, but I put it on the left.
Yeah. You just wanted it on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like that we're seeing, like you had said when we watched it, the actual bite and the scar.
Yeah.
And it looks like the tattoo process as well, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, her tattoo is just beautiful. It's so iconic to me. And I've run into a bunch of people now that have that tattoo, which is so exciting. And it makes me so happy because we'll see each other out in the wild and they'll be like, hey, and it's like,
it's a good icebreaker.
Yeah, it's great. But you know that if they have that tattoo, they love the second game too.
Yes.
Because she only gets it like, in this game. And so Ellie's like character arc is everything to me. And I mean, her and Abby together, but like just where Ellie's character goes is so intense. There's so much that happens to her. So
yeah, you make a great point, though. It's like when you see someone with that tattoo, you don't have to worry about them not liking Game 2. Because usually when you talk to Last of Us fans, it's kind of like a Last Jedi situation where it's like, 2? Are you a 2 fan?
Yeah,
and then they're like, ugh. And you're like, okay, let's just not talk then.
I'm sure there's maybe some people that have it that don't like the second game, but that would just seem so weird to me because it's like it's the second game, Ellie.
If they hate the second game and they got that tattoo, that would be wild to me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being possible. It's possible, but it's just I can't.
It's
not
weird.
Likely. One thing with this image in particular, though, is like with the scarring, the whole reason Ellie gets the tattoo is kind of cover up her scar.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want anyone to know that she's been bitten, obviously, so she gets a tattoo to hide it. In this, it's not very well hidden. I mean,
no, but it's not complete.
But it could look like
it's
a burn.
It's not finished either. Like this
isn't the completed one.
No, not
maybe
no,
this is
no,
her.
I don't think it is.
This could be her getting it.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you said?
Yeah, this is her getting the tattoo, so it's not finished.
Do we hear a gun sound or anything? No, because she's not getting tattooed.
The way it looks is
it's unfinished.
It's unfinished, I think. But yeah,
that's true.
I mean the scar would still be there, but the tattoo distracts from it. Like so when people see it, initially they're just gonna see the tattoo. And then if they look closer, they might notice that. But it does look like a burn. It doesn't really look like a bite.
Yeah. I love that idea, though, that we're actually going to see Ellie get the tattoo.
Yeah.
And, I think that we could get a good little moment of, like, the meaning behind it.
Yes.
And why she gets this specifically.
Yeah.
Right?
I definitely think that after this season 2, like if we see her get the tattoo, you're gonna see a lot more people getting it, which is cool. Like that doesn't bother me, especially because this is specifically a tattoo from a game and made by like somebody else. I think a lot of people get very like don't copy my tattoo design or whatever, but with this one it's like I think it's really cool that there's gonna be a lot of people that have it. So yeah.
All right, so next up we got the third image here, which is Catherine O'Hara's character. She must be shooting this back-to-back with Beetlejuice. But she is talking to Joel, asking him about, him saving Ellie, which we get the the image of him at the end responding to her in this moment. There was a lot of speculation on who she could be when she was originally cast, and there was a lot of theories that were kind of going around because Joel has a girlfriend in the game, and it got cut from the game. It was an idea where and she dies. So this like adds to his misery.
Oh my gosh.
So she was like bit, and like I think that's cool because he could have prevented her death, right? If he gave up Ellie. But he obviously doesn't give up Ellie, and he has to lose someone he's into, like Tess, another Tess. And this one was preventable because it would have been preventable had he let Ellie die. But she's like 70 in real life. And I know Joel's a little older in this one, but Joel's only in his 50s. I just don't see that being the case here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It could be. It's possible. I mean, Joel could just be into older chicks. I mean, I doubt it. So she appears to be like a therapist.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe this is like a therapist at Jackson.
I mean, he does suffer from an anxiety condition in the last season, which is a new element that they added to that. And him seeing a therapist to talk about his trauma after he's kind of gotten over his ability. Like he wasn't talking about anything. And then once he has his moment with Ellie, he's pretty open, but like he has this building up inside of him. He needs to talk to somebody. And this could be, I'm just going to go with therapist.
Yeah. I think that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Him telling somebody like, "Hey, I could have saved everyone," though.
I don't think I don't think
he'll admit that either.
He tells Tommy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, but he's not going to tell anybody else.
Yeah, but I could see therapist. Otherwise, I don't have any idea who she is.
Yeah.
So
that's I got nothing else on that one, and that's pretty much just going to be my thoughts on. Once again, we get a look at older Joel.
Yeah.
His hair is a little longer, not as long as it is in the game. Pedro can't grow a full beard, really. He has like a beard, but it's not a Joel beard, which is fine. But Joel's hair is longer than that. I don't really care. Okay, and moving on to the fifth image, because older Joel was the fourth. Now this is one I was looking at for a minute. This is Ellie waking up screaming. Yeah. She looks like she's got no clothes on.
Yeah.
So what I'm assuming is happening here is I think this is right. Well, I don't see any like damage on her much, but I was thinking that this might be right after Joel's death. They like Tommy and her are found. They bring her back. They strip her clothes off to like, treat her wounds and maybe she has like hypothermia or something, and they're trying to like warm her up, get her wet clothes off, all that kind of stuff. Like, this is my assumption here, is that this is right after Joel's death, and she's like waking up from it screaming, like she's remembering his death. She's probably even dreaming about it. Yeah. I could see that being the case. I don't know what else this could be.
This is definitely a woman's arm, I think.
That is more than likely Tommy's girlfriend. Or wife, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Who's the leader of who's in charge of Jackson.
Yeah, I think
she's
that's
black,
more than
and this
likely.
is a black arm.
Yeah, I think that's more than likely, like what you just said is probably what this image is. Them, taking her away after Joel's been killed and her reacting to it. You had also said, like, maybe this was a shot of her after she, got bit.
Yeah.
Which maybe, but I don't know that we're going to get any...
You're thinking after Riley's death?
Yeah, but I don't know that we're going to... I mean, it's totally possible that we could get, like, flashbacks for sure. But more than likely, I think what you'd said is correct. I think that this is probably after Joel's been killed.
Yeah, I think this is Maria kind consoling her.
Yeah, I do too.
Because Tommy and her have been brought back after Joel's death.
Yeah.
This is my assumption with this photo.
I think that's a good assumption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next image we have here, number 6, is people running towards Jackson. They don't look infected. They just look like normal people.
They look like they're running from
They look
something.
like they're running from something,
Yeah.
I'm assuming infected.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next shot is Tommy shooting at something. It could, so, the way that it's shot, it looks like he could be shooting at the people running up.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to storm the place. Like, they're the people who are on the outside, and they have kind of like a war going on for the land. They want in. They won't let these people in. This isn't something that is really in the game, but that doesn't mean that ain't going to be here. Mm-hmm. I mean, they added a good amount in the last season. Not a ton, but there was a lot, like a good amount of expansion. And I love the expansion. Like everything they expanded in the previous season, I was all about.
Me too. Yeah.
So he's either shooting at them as they're trying to raid the place because they want the resources inside.
Yeah, or he's shooting past them.
Or he's shooting at the infected behind them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with he's shooting at the infected behind them.
That's what I think too.
Seeing Tommy with the sniper rifle here is great because there's a wonderful scene in the game where he's who teaches Ellie how to shoot at distance. And she's shooting infected.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume he's shooting at, because he's shooting so fast. I don't know. I'm going with infected.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's too many people for it to be like, I'm trying to think of anything else. No, yeah, like a rival gang, something like that. Because when I saw this, I was like, well, in season 1, we completely skip over the dam scene.
Oh, right, you said this.
And the dam scene has them infiltrated by like a whole mess of like a rival gang of guys. And this is who they fight against when Ellie runs off on horseback, when she hears that, Joel doesn't want to take her or whatever, and she runs away. And this is, of course, where Joel's like, okay, I'll take you, later on. But this could be a replacement for the dam scene, because we don't get that.
Yeah.
But that appears to be the walls of Jackson, and not a dam.
No,
so they could just be combining that kind of fight that we just didn't get. I think they're going to up the action here because there was a lot of complaints that there wasn't enough action in season 1. So more infection fighting could just be an answer to that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
This shot is exciting.
Yeah. Next 8 is
the Seraphites.
The Seraphites.
Seraphites?
Mm-hmm. Or the Scars, as the wolves call them.
Yeah, I mean, this is in Washington.
Yeah.
So
this is after Joel's death, more than likely. Now, we don't know for sure how this is going to be told. This doesn't have to be told in a linear fashion, right? No. They could tell this from 3 different perspectives. We could be seeing, our main characters here in Jackson. We could be seeing Abby and the Washington Liberation Front, which is, Wolf. And then we could be seeing the Seraphites, and we could finally meet the Prophet and all that stuff. Now, what this looks like to me is the scene where Abby gets hung or hanged. I have a feeling this is going to be the scene where, I don't know if that's kind of deep into the game. And if they're doing this, this is season 1 of potentially 3 for this game. I don't see that we would see Abby hook up with Lev and Yara right when Yara gets her wings clipped, and they save Abby from being hanged after she saved Yara from, her own people as they're trying to kill them, and they run into Abby and like try to hang her because they're at war with the wolves. This is what this looks like, but this also could be the scene where they're hunting Ellie.
That's what I thought was the Ellie scene, but
this is in Seattle.
Either way, that's still pretty far in to the game. So the other, I had also thought maybe this is like not necessarily something we'll see this season, but that seems like why would it be included in there?
No. I would, that would be crazy.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I like your idea of, like, maybe we'll have, like, a few different storylines going on and, like, they'll all converge.
Yeah.
Because, we had sort of talked about, like, when Joel will die, because that's, like, that's what sets off the whole second game. So, it can either happen, like, first episode, like you had said, like Sarah dying first episode, or it'll end up being a finale of perhaps this season, which if that's the case, then we'll be spending time at Jackson, and we could definitely spend time with Abby and even Lev, and do that. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm definitely really curious about all of that. I sort of have a feeling that, I don't know, I go back and forth between Joel being killed early on or at the end. I can't really land on either one because both can work, I think.
I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that it's going to happen either in the first episode or the last episode.
Well, yeah, and that's like...
It could not, though. I mean, they could try to Game of Thrones this.
That's true. It could happen mid-season.
It could happen, in episode 6.
Yeah.
That's possible, where it leaves off on this cliffhanger. Because I'll say this. I don't think that they're going to leave it for this finale. Only because this is a really, really tough thing to do right now. Because they already know what the reaction was once.
Yeah.
And that was due to leaks. And I wonder how it would have been received had the leaks not also been, coincided with everyone's homophobia and misogyny towards, like, Abby and Lev being a trans character and everything. Like, it got coupled with so many things that had the game just released, and Joel's death came, and we all just kind of experienced it as it was supposed to have. What if people had reacted so intensely? I don't know. I still think there will be people who are jaded from the last, from when the game came out, that will purposely try to ruin it for other people and bring them into their camp.
Yeah.
We're like, just so you know, he dies. Isn't that lame? Don't you hate it now?
Yeah.
I guarantee this will happen, and that is so evil to do to someone. Like, just let them experience it and let them have their own, opinion on it. So it's a really tough balancing act of, like, where do you put it, already knowing some kind of a response that we've already seen in the past. Do you kill him up front and then you risk everyone leaving? Do you leave off a cliffhanger where you kill the main character that a lot of people are watching for? Because, he's like a sex symbol right now, so you have a lot of chicks who are watching it for him, and you could risk losing. Because, obviously The Walking Dead dealt with this. They lost, like, 1/3 or more of their viewership in the Glenn Abraham, beating scene.
Yeah, people could
where
not
Negan comes in and beats him to death. And they were like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. Now, that was because that was so gratuitously violent and so upsetting, because he's, like, beating him to death in front of, like, his pregnant wife and all this stuff. Oh, my God.
And it is upsetting. It's super upsetting.
It's meant to be upsetting, right?
With this, too, though, we also kind of were speculating and wondering if, because one of the things that we love about the second game is that it really forces you to change your perspective, like, immediately by putting you in, like, Abby's, shoes.
Yeah.
And without knowing her, without having any, like, reason to be rooting for her or anything. And then, like, as the game goes on and as you spend time with her character, like, you really understand, like, how vast the world is and how, Joel's actions affect everybody, like, you get really myopic with the first game and the daddy-daughter, Joel and Ellie storyline, but there's so much more to it. So we were kind of wondering, though, if they would, like we were saying, take time to get to know Abby, before, which would make much more sense to me because, when you're in a video game, you have time to play the character and go on all these side quests and, like, whatever, like, see the reactions to different things, but we don't have that when we're watching a show. We need to be led through the story much more, like, forcefully, kind of. So I do think that's also a big possibility that we will just be introduced to Abby and learn more about her before she even goes to Joel.
We shall see. What I love about the game, and I'm not here to talk about too much of that because I could go on an hour-long tangent about how much I love Abby and how brilliant the whole storytelling is for me personally. But yeah, I don't know. I think the great thing about the game is that she is not someone you know. She is such a villainous character because she kills someone you love so much. And the brilliance of the game is somehow taking a character that I should hate on paper, that I did hate when she commits this act, and getting her to be one of my favorite characters ever, and someone I love and am rooting for, and please don't kill her, Ellie, in the end of the game. Oh my
gosh, yeah.
Where I'm like literally trying to like force myself to press the buttons because I'm like, I don't want either of them to die. I love them both so much, and I both see their perspectives, and I completely understand why they want each other dead. And that is like the best part of this whole thing to me. So doing it in a different way where we know Abby's backstory beforehand, it's different. I'm not 100% opposed to it, but what I love about this game is all the things I just said. So I don't know, but we spent way too long on this one.
We'll see.
But yeah, the scars, they're hunting somebody. Could be Abby, could be Yar and Lev, could be Ellie. We don't know. Next up, we've got Dina.
Yep.
She is, I'm assuming, in the theater. I can't tell what these are behind her here. They look like sofas that have been flipped over. You know where this probably is? This is probably in the basement where Ellie and her have sex for the first time. Where they go down to the generator and they take off their clothes, and you know how sex works.
Maybe. She looks freaked out though in this shot.
I know, but that's when they're searching. They think someone's going to be down there. She has a gun drawn, sure, but I mean they're just scouting the place to make sure.
Yeah. Maybe her expression.
Because she's like down
feels
dressed.
Like she's seeing something.
So the reason I'm saying is probably the theater. She's wearing a little bit of a jacket here, but like I don't know. She looked like she's a little more comfy, like they've been there for a little while. Her hair's down, as opposed to like when they're out riding on the horse and they're like just exploring buildings.
Yeah.
This seems like a place they've like hunkered down for a little bit, and she's like now searching through it. But this is.
Yeah, it could be.
This is Dina.
Yeah, I'm so happy we get to see her.
We do get confirmation that the girl that sees Ellie in season 1 that we all thought was Dina is not. Yeah. Which is interesting. It could be Kat, which is Ellie's first girlfriend in Jackson. Yeah. And she has her kiss with her, and they break up, and there's a lot of her in her like journals, and then Ellie and Dina like kind of reference her for a bit when she talks about like when I saw you with Kat or whatever. So will we see Kat? We could see her there, like, with Ellie getting the tattoo, and then their breakup and all of that. So, yeah, I'm all about expansion.
Me too. Absolutely.
Number 10 here, we've got Ellie shooting an assault rifle. She's got her signature backpack and her gun clipped to her hip here. This, I can only assume, is in Seattle.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking this is, honestly, because of the glass around her, and this looks like a big long hallway, I think this is when Tommy is the sniper, and you're having to chase him down. Oh. Right? So there's like a sniper that's killing people in the area, and they chase him down, and it ends up being Tommy.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah, perhaps, for sure. There's
Am I misremembering this scene? That's not Abby? Isn't that Ellie? Yeah, because they get together, they hook up, and then they like go off together, and then he's going this way, and they go like in different directions.
Yeah,
They break
they
up.
don't go together.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's been too long since I played game 2. We just got that remaster, which we bought, and
yes.
I'm gonna play it before this season.
Yeah. You're totally possible that it could be that. I don't know what else it would be. Obviously there's so much.
Wolves,
yeah.
You know.
But it looks like she's wearing a pretty heavy jacket. So yeah, I think she's in Seattle and.
Well, this is in Jackson. Right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's not Jackson.
Yeah.
And then she goes from Jackson. Now there could be something in between.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming this is when they get to Seattle, and this does not look like it's in the theater or anything like that. This is her out in it could be any of those buildings that we explore in Seattle when we get there. But I have a feeling this is the Tommy sniper scene.
We'll find out.
Unless someone can remember that I'm wrong and that's Abby, but God, it's been too long. It's been over a year. Okay,
this is a great shot.
Number 11.
Yeah.
If you look down in the middle of the screen, but the lower left hand middle of the screen, you can see there's a person walking. I can only assume that this is Abby.
Yeah.
When she's scouting. When she goes off and she does her walk in the snow, and she spots some people, and then she comes back and she talks to like Owen and Mel, and then she goes off again, and this is when she runs into Joel and Tommy. I don't know what else to say about this.
I don't know. It's a great shot though.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
It could be Ellie out searching for Joel. That's
Maybe?
possible. But I'm going with Abby.
I think it's probably Abby.
Yeah, I'm going with Abby because she only gets one other shot in here,
Yeah.
and she's a main character. So, but they do not show her very well in either shot. Okay, anything more on that one?
No.
Okay. Shot 12 here is of Jeffrey Wright. He plays Isaac, who is the leader of the Washington Liberation Front. Or the Wolves.
He's great, so I'm excited to see him in this.
He looks so much like him.
Yeah.
It's great casting.
Yeah.
They're in a kitchen. I'm trying to remember. He's pointing a gun at someone. This could be... because this is the first part of the game, this is probably when he's torturing that guy for information. Remember, Abby comes up to talk to him, and we see that he's torturing some dude, and it really shows his character. So I have a feeling this is his torture scene to really drive home that he's villainous.
Yeah, I mean his expression looks pretty evil, violent.
I mean, I'm going off of memory with all of this. I haven't played the game in over a year, but that's my memory. That's how we're introduced to him. He's comes up, the elevator, and then he's torturing a guy, and then they go out, but later, of course, they attack the Seraphites and whatnot, but that's at towards the end of the game. So there's no way we're that far in.
No, I would not think so.
So I'm going with this is the torture scene.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Oh, this is a really exciting shot.
Yeah, next up, 13 is...
Abby.
Yeah.
It's Abby.
This is a great scene in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really get much of a shot. If you were to show me this shot without The Last of Us below it, it looks almost from the game.
It really does. I mean, especially because it's all kind of blurry too, it's motion.
Yeah.
Because it is, but yeah, this is great. I love that we see, even though it's just for a split second, I love that we see her in this teaser.
Yeah. Caitlin Dever, Wall is very small, and they probably could have casted someone more like Katie O'Brien from Love Lies
Oh my
Bleeding.
gosh, yeah. If they were going for like physical stature and everything.
I hope Caitlin put on some muscle.
She probably did.
I would be bummed if we never like. They're probably just keep if she doesn't, they're just gonna keep jackets on her the whole time.
Yeah.
But
she's a fantastic actor, though. Like.
Yeah.
She is. I have so much faith in her ability to portray.
But like one of the great things about Abby is she's so physically dominant over Ellie.
Yes, that's true.
And we're not going to have that.
And it does also make the ending too, of course, even more like, heartbreaking
she's like
because
emaciated.
But we'll see. I mean, they're definitely, like you said, she could have buffed up. They could put jackets on her. She could definitely have like some heels or like height increase. There's definitely ways to work around an actor being not like physically matching the character, but I mean, Pedro Pascal doesn't look exactly like Joel.
Bella doesn't look like Ellie.
Belly. So I'm just excited. I'm so excited to see her performance, and I think she's going to do a wonderful job no matter what. So
guarantee it. She's got her cap on.
Yeah.
She looks like she's wearing her exact jacket. It's great.
Yes.
I love this shot in the game. When you're walking like between the wall and the fence, and the fence is collapsing on you with all the infected. This is, of course, right before she meets Joel and Tommy, as they save her. I wouldn't be surprised if they change this a little bit, because she never falls to the ground in my memory in this. She just kind of like skirts past them as they're falling onto her. So I could see Joel pulling her out of this and really saving her.
Yeah.
Which would add to like, the villainry where you're like, this bitch, she killed him after he helped her.
Right.
And then you learn who she is and you're like, oh, okay, I understand why now. But yeah, it's great to see Abby. I fucking love Abby. I know she's a hated character for some people, but I adore her, and it's so cool to see her in live action.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Joel and Tommy. I can only assume this is Joel and Tommy. They're riding on horses. This is right around when they meet Abby. I don't see Abby with them here.
No, I would
so this is probably before. Maybe they're rushing to her.
This could also just be
them just riding.
A shot of them riding together.
Yes.
So, and Jackson.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely Joel and Tommy.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have got, and this is kind of a twofer here, we've got Ellie in a train car.
Yeah.
And we've got a clicker on the outside. Now, we can't really see clearly in here too well. So in the game, right before they find the theater, this is where Dina and Ellie drop down, to get away from their enemies. They drop down into the tunnels, and there's subway cars, and they have a big, their chase sequence with a bunch of infected, as well as like wolves, and this is right here. This is where Dina learns that Ellie is infected. Mm-hmm. This is where her mask breaks. Mm-hmm. And then she is like, Dina's gonna like be like, here, we can share a mask. And she's like, no, don't do that. Like, don't take it off. Like, don't risk it. And she takes it off, and she's like, what the hell? And she's like, I'm not infected, And then they have to, of course, run, so they don't have enough time to talk about it. Now, they took spores out of the show.
Yeah.
So you don't have any breathable spores now. So I am going to assume that Ellie gets bit instead. Yeah. And Dina's going to be like, oh my God, it's over. And she's going to be like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's going to change the dynamic a little bit, because in that we get to see that Dina was willing to risk her life.
To help, yeah.
That's pretty clear since she comes to Seattle with her to get vengeance.
Yeah.
But it's like instant reaction in the moment when it's like, you could turn into an infected.
Yeah.
She has a mask. She's going to take it off, hold her breath, like breathe.
Right.
But like you could get a bunch of spores in the mask as you put it on and breathe it in.
Yeah,
it's super risky.
Dangerous.
So it just shows how much in love Dina is.
Yeah.
And, at this point, Dina does know that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she's also risking her baby's life
yep.
to save Ellie. This just shows you how much she loves her. And then, of course, we got the clicker on the outside, as I said, which is, just in the same shot. But this is what leads them up and that whole thing between them and up into the theater.
Yeah.
Anything more on those?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good, analysis of it.
Mm-hmm. And then, we get the last shot here, which is just Joel once again saying, I saved her as a response, because he's just she's kind of what did you do? And he's like, I saved her. So sad. Which to him, it's I didn't save anyone else. Yeah. I saved her. Yeah. Right? I didn't save you. I didn't save me. I didn't save anyone else. I could have, but I saved her. I chose her over everyone. To me, what this scene probably is a clever expositional moment for not only character development and whatnot, but a smart little recap of events where she's talking to him, what happened, and he's going through it, emotionally going through it, and trying to psychoanalyze and doing all of that, but also being some clever way of not having to do a previously on The Last of Us.
That's a good
and
point.
Us as the audience who didn't watch season 1, what the fuck you would miss season 1 for, but if for some reason you were someone that either needed a recap or didn't watch season 1, he could kind of go through the events to a degree and then set the stakes once again for people who it's been a couple years for.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, this happens first episode.
Yeah.
To remind everyone. Yeah.
This will undoubtedly happen first episode for me. This is more than likely a first episode scene.
Yeah. Super exciting.
That's it.
Super, super exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more trailers, teasers, everything to come, especially knowing we'll get more shots of Abby.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is great.
Yeah. So that's that. Very exciting. Did not expect to do a video this long. And as I had said, without spoilers, oh my god, it would be 2 seconds.
It's hard.
It'd be oh, here's the winter dance. Things happen there.
Yeah.
What do you say? So, anyway, for any of you guys who are big Last of Us fans, definitely subscribe, because we will be talking about every episode as they drop.
We will.
Any trailers that are coming out. The great thing about this is that we don't have to worry about any spoilers in the trailers. They can put anything they want in the trailers, and we can be we already know,
It'll just be exciting to see
yeah.
it. But let us know what you guys think, too, if any of these scenes, if you think there's something different than what we were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys could see or not. Kaylee is wearing a Last of Us shirt. This is a Look for the Light Firefly shirt. It's kind of hard to pick up on there.
I know.
You got to look for the light.
Yeah, you do.
To see her shirt. But that's it. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you there. I'm off to game with my brother, but not The Last of Us, unfortunately. All right, we'll see you in the comments.
Bye.